That's what I want to do. So record here. I'm going to share this. This right here. So, nope, don't want to share that one. Share this other one. Share screen one. Yeah. So sharing and all right. So recording is in progress. So we should have the recording by the end of this. So you can type in the chat. Can you guys see my screen? If you can see my screen, just type in the chat. I'm going to start rolling. So these are some of the services that I talked about in video. Not so much about this one, but most of the other ones. So pretty much everything, I think I talked about everything in detail except for, all right. I talked about everything in detail except for CloudFront, directory service billing, which you don't deal with, and this one. But this one's actually probably a good one to look into. So, but actually, what I'm going to spend this morning working on is trying to fix something that's not working on my machine right now. So this is going to be complicated, but that's okay because you're going to have the video to actually watch and review some things. So let's see. You can see some of the commands. So we're going to learn. You'll learn some things. You're going to learn some things about AWS, some things about Python, and then some things about just doing Windows. I know Meekinson uses Windows, and then there's some other things that that we just have to do just to get this stuff working. That I think that is you can actually learn some things as well. So I want to run a few things here. I want to run a terraform. I want to create some resources in AWS and see if this works. But before I can do that, I got to make sure this thing works here. So I'm going to show you me basically trying to fix a problem that I'm having right now, because this is part of work, right? So, and once I fix that problem, I can run a script, what I call a script, and use that script to build resources to create, I think in this one, an EC2 on AWS. So, you know, look at the screen, like look at all these terms. If you hear noise in the background, you can ignore it, just some work that's being done in the background. So basically these different services, look up the terms, make sure you kind of understand what they mean. And I'm going to go through and see if I can figure out how my Python is doing. All right, so I'm running Python 3.9.13. And I showed this to Meekinson before. I think we actually did a video about this. So Meekinson, you should do a review and looking to make sure you understand at least starting Python. Like I showed you something very basic a long time ago, where you can use Python to say like a message like hello, something basic like my name is. But it was a good way to test that Python is working on your machine. So I remember we worked on that and we used your machine. So that's a good thing to show your students and share with them so that they can understand, you know, how just some basics, something very basic. Installing Python and also using Python to do something very basic. So please make it. I'll follow up with you and Ms. Rigo later on. So okay. So now let me see if I can fix the problem that I'm having. So we're on AWS right now, and there's a AWS. There are two different ways. There are a lot of different ways. There are two main ways to get access to AWS. And we've talked about this one a million times. This one I'm going to try and do using Python. Now, you're seeing this. I just wrote a command. I just wrote some commands, some instructions to the computer. And what ended up happening is this looks good This is all in white. Everything looks okay. This is in red, and it says there's an error. So there's a problem. So let's see if we can figure out how to fix this problem. All right, so what I'm going to try and do is actually take stuff off and then put it back on. So let me try something here. That one should be recording. Let's see if I can remember the command. I'm going to remove the tip, install. So let me see if I can uninstall something. All right, so all right, let's do this. Install this one as well. All right, so I'm telling the computer's telling me there's a conflict, right? So it's saying it's incompatible. Thank you, saying Creole compatible, right? It means that two things don't go together. So let me try to get it working again. So I removed two things that show that they had a conflict. So let me try to do it over again. And let's see what happens. So I'm starting over. I'm hoping that everything is going to try and do this again. And I'm hoping that I don't get any errors in red. So this is going to run. So I have a command. I'm going to install it because what I want to do after I run the command is I want to show some other command. I want to show you some more. So I'm going to show a few things. I'm going to show you the user interface, which is this. In Rigo and Mikunson, you still have your logins. So I want you to use, because I didn't delete your logins, you guys can still log in to see this. So the other thing I'm going to ask you to do to talk about is I want you guys, you have to do this, is to log in. And I want you to try, and you can see if you can get in, use your notes. If you can't, let me know, but I want you to try, because then the students have to do that as well. All right, so it says successfully installed. All right, that's what it said. All right, so now let me try something else. That's not the one I wanted. This is what I wanted. So many. So one other person just got admitted, but who is? All right, Motorola E2020. Please identify yourself. You can just say your name and welcome. So Motorola 2020. All right, so now this says this is installed, but I don't see what I'm looking for. So let me see if I can find this command. So I removed this, but basically what I showed is that I want to run a command, and I want a command that's called this. I don't see it, so we're gonna see if we can find it. Hopefully this works the way I want it to. All right, so while this is running, this might take a while to run, so I'm going to move this screen off over here. So let's do something else. While this is running, I'm going to show you something else. Okay, I recognize you, Motorola E2020. So welcome. All right. So now, if I remember to do this. So, so let me try this one. Yep, this is an older one, but that's okay. So while this thing is running, I'm going to show you. There's a few things I'm going to show you today. And like I said, some of it's going to be troubleshooting. We'll see what happens. So there's that. And this command terraform, which I've showed to you guys before. All right, so now let me know if you guys can't see my screen. So if you can't see it, let me know. And you can, like I said, you can watch this off the video. So if it seems like it's going too fast, that's okay. That's why we have videos. So I'm going to try and do is upload this immediately after class is over, so you guys can start watching. But if it goes too fast, remember, watch the video, pause it, ask about it. You can ask me about it and say, what does this mean? And I'll explain it to you. But you guys have to watch it so that I know that thank you, Rachel. You guys have to watch it so I know that you guys are actually watching it. Or you guys have to respond so I know that you guys are watching it. All right, so I might have to change my username and password for this system because it's a little bit let's see what happens here. So all right, good. So this is telling me, so this is an error message that I wanted. This is an error message that I wanted. So what it's telling me is that, and it's a very complicated way of saying this, but if you watch the video, right, very important, watch the video, error using credentials to get account ID. Means I need to create another username and password, which is fine. I'm going to do it from here. I could do it on this screen, or I'll delete it afterwards anyway. So right now, which screen is sharing? All right, so this is the screen that's being shared. All right, cool. So I can see what's happening. So let me go here. So basically what I'm going to do, I'll tell you in words what I'm trying to do is I have to go and I have to create a username and password. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a different screen. So this error message that I just got, this error message, error using credentials to get account. So if you don't know anything else about what's happening, if you read that, just because you guys know English, you know, error using credentials, you know what credentials means. So there's a problem with the username and password. You guys use username and passwords for your phone, use it for WhatsApp, you use it for um, uh, Instagram or TikTok or any of that stuff. So let me add a username and password that we can use. So create an access key. Put this on mute for a second so I can turn off this other sound. All right, I'm back. So now I got to set a username and password. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off screen so I can do this and not put a username and password everywhere. But I'm going to delete the username and password anyway when I'm done, because that's a good security practice. So let me set this. There shouldn't be shown anywhere. Going this the right way. Like I say, it won't matter at the end of the video. I'm going to delete it, but you know, you don't want people charging you money because you didn't delete a username and password. So username and passwords, remember, just like you're a key to your house, like it's a key, and you want to make sure that it's protected. So all right, so let's see. Hopefully this works. And oops. So you guys get to see Python, a little bit of Python, AWS, of course, and all right. Let's see if this works. So I'm just actually going to show this to you guys. I'm going to try it. So I just changed the username and password, see if they gets rid of that error message, and we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens. See if I get an error message. All right, cool. So I don't get an error message this time. So if you watch the video, two things. I tried to access resources. I wanted resources, and resources cost money. So everybody can't access those resources. You need credentials. You need a username and password to access it. So first time I tried it, I had a password, but it was old, right? And I said, okay, I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to create a new password. And I put that in the system so I don't get the error message anymore. So I tried two things. I did the same thing 2 times. And the difference is the first time the username was wrong. And the second time the username is right. Now, what's important for you to understand is that when you see, often if you see something in red, if you see me doing a screen share and you see something in red, usually something's wrong. Not 100% of the time, but I'll say 90%, at least 90% something's wrong. I've seen where it's in red and somebody just likes red and they have something in red, but everything's fine, right? So you always want to read it. You want to read to understand. And in this error message, it was talking about that the username and password was wrong. So now it should be right. So now let's try a few things here. So I want to create some resources. And I'm going to get rid of it right after. Let's see what happens. So a whole bunch of resources, so 9 of them. So let's see. Let's count up 9. It says created 9 of them. So this is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. This is 6. This is 7. 8. There should be one more. 9. And then, yes, that's 9. So I'm going to count this again. So at the bottom of the screen, I said, I know this is a lot of information, but if you watch the video and re-watch it, you'll be able to connect some pieces. So I ran a command. I told the computer to do something, and it says 9 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. English, you know what it means to add, you know what it means to change, you know what it means to destroy something, right? So I'm not saying anything that's too crazy here. It says, so 9 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. So now what that means is that one, and the other thing is in AWS, you can also look up these 9 things. You don't have to know all the details, but EIP stands for Elastic IP. I'm going to say this in words, and I'm going to type this in the chat, and hopefully it shows up in the chat as well. So EIP, and these cost, this, like I said, this costs money, so I have to take it off really quickly. Means Elastic IP, all right, internet protocol, Elastic IP. So EIP, it's the EIP, and it's usually short for address. So really, when they say EIP, it really means Elastic IP, Elastic Internet Protocol address. That's what they really mean. So let me move that here, and somebody just, I think that was where you go. So one, web server. You have a internet gateway. So these are terms you can look up on the web. Network interface, route table, and I'll show some of this. So hopefully this goes through. Route table association, security group. All right. So I'm gonna say apply. Hopefully count this. Otherwise, I have to try something else, but that's okay. So it's creating all this. So you can see this on the screen, like so the 9 things I said. So there are 9 things. So this is what you're going to take away from this is I wanted to create 9 things. The 9 things are going to be created. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to show some of the things that were created. So like I said, this is going to get complicated, but if you read the video and then just start putting together the pieces. And this is at a high level, this is just creating things in AWS. All right, so cool. So 9 added, says complete. The public IP address. So do I have a security group that lets me do this? So let's see. So a good thing to remember is, what does IP mean? So I have 2 IPs. Let's see if I can get access to, let me go here. Let's see. We're going to find out. So that one confused command, but that's okay. All right, so let me go back here. And I'm going to show good old friend EC2. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's go back and look. So it said that there were 9 things created. So let me go back and let's go through all of them. So it's easier at the top. So Elastic IP is 1. So let's see if we can find this one. This Elastic IP. So it says it created 1. And there it is. That's the Elastic IP. Web server instance. That's this one. This one right here. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, with the name here. So web server here, web server here. So that's 2. Let's see if we can go through all of them. Internet gateway. All right. So where are the internet gateways? Internet gateways, I think, under VPC. So yeah, here it is, internet gateway. All right, so this is my internet gateway right here. So internet gateway here, right? And then I have a web server network interface card. So actually, let me do something real quick. I should do this before, but that's okay for now. So anyway, there's internet gateway, the NIC. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my EC2, right? And network interface should be 1. So that's the one here. All right, so that's my network interface. Route table. So route table, I'm going to have to go back to VPC because that's networking. So where's my route table? Well, I have a lot actually. I should only have one. I don't want to delete them because I might be using them for something else. But usually you just have one, especially with something like this. So I have a route table, dev route table. So in here, let's see if it's this one. Subnet. Double check here. All right, so name is dev. All right, yeah, this is it. This is the one. This is it. So now, what's the other one I want to see? So that's the route table associations. So that should be that one. Security groups. Allow web here. Allow web over here. And then subnet 1. That subnet's over here. And that's my subnet here. And I have a VPC. It's a new one. Dev. VPC dev here. Yep. All right. So you can say to yourself, okay, what was that for? What are we doing? Well, what are we talking about? So I'm going to connect 3 things. So the first thing I want to connect is, we talk about this all the time. That's why it's important to log in. You guys have accounts. You guys can log in, at least see some of the things I'm talking about. So, whoops. Yeah, I don't want to put this on screen yet. I say it won't matter, but let me move this over. All right. All right. So let me know if you guys can't see my screen. Look at the chat. I think that's Rigo. I think Rigo was on the iPhone. It's temporary. Yeah, I think he was on the. I think it was Rigo, Rachel. All right. So I'm going to connect 3 things. So this part here, like I said, you guys have access to it. So I'm going to talk about 2 things offline. I want you guys to log in every day. And then also we're going to talk about the time part. So this is part 1. That's 1. 2, because I want to show in this other part here. And this is in the video. That's why the video is important. If it's too fast, that's okay. All right. So So there's three things I want to connect. I want to connect this first one. Get rid of this one. And this one shows all the resources, like all the things I've created. So things here, VPCs, subnets, route tables, like list of everything created. All right. ACLs, I deleted a bunch of them, but some of the ones I had got left, I left included. That's one. So you can see it with your eyes, even if you don't understand all of it. That's one. Second part is I showed you some commands that I ran, right? Some commands, and you say, okay, it does this stuff. And I'm looking at to see the stuff that it creates, where do you see it, right? So if you see something here, where is it in the other system? So that is, that's two. And the third part is where I type all this stuff. So I type instructions, and in the instructions, I have what I want. I have it created, and then I can see those resources. So the last thing I want to see is, I might not be able to do it on this one. I can, but I might not do it on this one. It is not already set up, but instances, I'm gonna go secure, which security group is it under? This is under, all right, so I should be able to see this one. If not, it's okay. So this one is, the IP address is this. All right, I guess I don't have one running there. I don't have an internet, a web server. So it's 10:51. We can take a 10-minute break. I'm going to pause the video, not stop it. I'm going to pause it so we can take a break for like 10 minutes and come back on at 11 o'clock.
Can they ask questions during this recording? Fritz,
okay.
Quick question.
So
are they able
recap,
to ask questions if they,
so
since there's a few students here?
Should be recording. All right, like I said, I might step out again because I have to pay somebody. You'll have to pay somebody somewhere. So
I have a quick question. Can they ask questions on here?
So what I'm going to do is, so this doesn't cost money. I'm going to remove the resources. So created a bunch of resources, some of them network created, related. So you can see here. So this is the one that's going to cost the most money. This one, this one, this one, these all cost money. And then, yeah. So let me do this. Let me remove the resources so that we can not pay more. If I want to explain this a little bit more, actually, let me do that. I'm going to explain this a little bit more about what we created and what that actually means. So I got to add something else too. So what we ended up creating was an EC2, a web server. So if you go to any of the websites, so you can run, the thing to kind of take away from this is that you can run on this web server, like any of those servers that you go to for anything. So, Facebook or I don't know what other web servers you guys go to. What else? What else is out there on the web that kids use, that young people use? I can't even think about it. Everything's on the phone. But this is close enough. So you can run just a bunch of different services on it. It has an IP address. It's unique in the world. It's like your home address. You only have one home address. every home address points to exactly one house, like not two, not three, just exactly one. I talked about VPCs before, and when it created, but this is the thing that to understand. So now that you have a computer online, you can do almost anything you want to do on it. You can put pictures there, you can put video, you can do anything you want to. But like I said, it does cost. So let me see if I can show you the cost information without putting anything. Let me make sure the share is working correctly. So let me stop screen sharing. Stop. Well, let me see where it's showing. So this one. All right, show sharing on this screen. All right, cool. So my recording hopefully is also going to the right place.
Do we have to
Yep. Okay. So this technology, yeah, don't check and double check everything. So this is recording on this computer, which is what I want. And all right. So let me see if I can show you some cost stuff without putting up all this other information. All right, so I don't have a bill. Good, I don't have a bill right now, so it might not show you anything interesting as far as cost. So maybe I can see an old Cost Explorer. Let's take a look at that one. Let's see if I can use that and show that. All right, that's not a good one. All right, but I'm going to show this anyway. I'm going to show this anyway, just so you guys can kind of understand what I'm talking about. So, let me look at an old report. All right, so what I'm going to show on the screen real quick, make sure there's nothing else on there. All right, is cost. So right now, because I haven't been running anything, like there's no cost and there's no estimated cost for what's happening right now. So I try and do things that are going to run for less than an hour, because running it for less than an hour usually means that you don't pay anything. They charge you per hour. And after the first hour, they charge you at a fractional level. So you can almost use things for free the first hour. So I'm going to remove that. And let's see, what else did I show you? Volumes where the disk information is stored. So this is going to incur a cost. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it. So there are 9 that I created, right? So I want to turn this to 9 destroyed. So let's do this. I'm going to make it ask me, do I want to do this? So I just typed the command to destroy. Let's just remove it. So I created 9. Remember, I had 9 to add before. So that's going to cost me money. Now I said 9 to destroy. That means you're not paying for anything you're not using. And that's the thing to remember. If you're not using it, then you're not paying for it. So I'm going to say yes. I want to remove the other resources, stop using them, and then not have the cost anymore of doing it. So right now it's destroying it. It's removing the resources. So seeing where it says, if you watch the video, destruction completion, when it's done, destroying. So that means it's freeing up. Those resources are no longer going to be used. So everything that we created, so 9 we created, 9 of them are going to be destroyed. Yeah, I think they can. Yeah, I think they can. Can you guys hear me? Rigo, Mickelson, any of the students, can you hear me? My audio is on. I have levels.
We are here.
My video is on. So let me know if you guys can hear me. Like, what are the other websites
Yes.
that you guys go to, or apps? So TikTok, WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram. I don't know what else kids are using. I know you guys are using something.
Yes.
All right, so this might take a
Facebook,
little while.
Twitter.
All right, so 9 destroyed. All right, so 9 destroyed. That means go here. Here. That means that the resources that I had before, instance, volume, key pairs, instance, volumes, and elastic IP addresses. So those are the things that actually cost money. Instance, there's still one, but it's not running. So even though it says that there's one, it's terminated because we destroyed it. It's not there anymore. What that means is that you're no longer paying the cost of it. So the other thing, this is going to be a lot of information, but I want you to watch the videos. But in these notes, I'm saying what I want to do, right? I want to create a VPC, create an internet gateway. I want to create a route table. I want to create a subnet. I want to associate these put together. I want to create a security group. I want to create a network. So think of all these different, I'm going to put this in the chat, like all these different, all right. I can hear myself. Hold on, let me check my volume. Oops, I might have been on, that was me. All right, so if you guys speak, I should be able to hear you now. I guess I had my volume down too low. So think about what you're doing. You're creating, assign. Associate, that was the other one I was looking for. It means almost the same thing. All right, so that's kind of like showing the beginning of the, yeah, they probably couldn't hear me. So my audio should be louder now. Do you guys want to repeat your question? You guys can hear me? Okay.
The Zoom is doing back and forth. That means disconnecting and connecting. This is the reason why we don't really get what you came from to explain.
I didn't hear the last part, Migos one. So I heard you say that the audio is going in and out.
Yes.
Rachel, is it going in and out for you too?
No, that's for the internet. It's because it's very loud.
Oh,
I could tell you couldn't hear us because I figured the volume was all the way down because they were asking something and you were just talking right through. So I could tell you couldn't hear us. But yeah, it's fine because their internet has been going in and out. I think we discussed the solution while we were on a break. So, but they did have a question. I don't know what it was, if it's still relevant, but yeah.
Okay, so what was the question? Do you guys remember? Or if it's the audio is that, you can type it in the chat too.
Okay, any question, I'm gonna type in the chat.
Yeah, it might, if I'll see the chat, so I'll keep an eye out for the chat. If the audio's, and it's good for you to actually write this in English too. If the audio is a little bit too, let me put it over here. If the audio is a little bit too much for you to hear it, or if it's going in and out, feel free to just type in the chat and I will answer as soon as possible. So, all right, so no payments due. I'll show one more thing. But this isn't funny, but this is all right. So let me show this. So I don't know why they do this. I don't even understand why they're doing this, but this should be 0 because we're not using any resources right now. We're not using excessive resources. So everything that they measure as far as cost, even with carbon emission, which I guess is what they're doing now, which is interesting, it's going to be 0. And that's what I wanted to keep it like that for a while, until until it makes sense for us to spend more money on it. So, all right. So that was one thing. I want to show. I'm going to do the same thing with another service. So this is. Yeah, this is terminated. So this one's going to disappear. It's not costing anything. I can't use it anymore. It's gone. It's gone forever. So I want to use something else. This is the other one I want to. We'll see what happens here. So you can see, like I said, this is why it's important to watch the video, because a lot of this is going to go by very quickly. And you're going to say, well, I don't understand it.
Hey, can you start over? Because I don't really understand
What happened?
Explain.
What happened? I couldn't hear you. Could you type in the chat? I couldn't hear a thing.
He said can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. He said that he's going to type it in the chat, but he said he couldn't understand this last segment that you just taught about. So he was asking if you could just repeat that. There's 4 of them there.
Okay, so let's try this. Could you type in the chat? I can start, but like start from where? Or is it the like what I just showed here? The let's see. I can go back. I think the last thing I showed you was some of the cost stuff. So I'll try and do that again. So if it was the cost, and I don't know why there's a red mark. Something just got turned on here. Clear. Okay, I don't know why I did that. I don't need to draw anything. All right, so let me do this. So I'm going to try and remember what I just showed you, and it's going to be related to cost. 2 things. So let me see if I can show this without showing other stuff. All right, so this is a good picture. This is more of the money. So let's see. I'm going to show. So this is there's a billing part to this. It just shows you how much money like you're spending on a service, because everything costs. Everything is going to cost money. So this one, because I haven't been using it a lot, you have these different services, and which is good. It's 0, 0, 0, which means to show it to you, I show it to you as quickly as possible. Then I take it down so it doesn't keep costing money. Because the thing about the cloud is, because you don't see it physically. Like if you see anything physically, you know how much it costs, because you can see it. If you see a car, you know kind of how much it costs. You know if it costs $5,000, you know if it costs $10,000, you know if it costs $100,000. You kind of know. You see anything, you kind of have an idea of how much it's going to cost to have it or to buy it. The problem with the cloud is that people can't see it. So you don't know it's costing you money. You can't see that it's on. You can't see that it's off. You actually have to go into another computer and look and see, oh, it's on or it's off. So what happens to a lot of people is they leave the cloud on. They leave, like they'll leave something on, right? And it'll be, instead of 0, it'll be like $100, $200. And all that money adds up. So what I try and do for our program, we do have some resources, but to keep it from going too crazy, I try and keep the cost down to not exactly zero, but down enough. Like if we don't need to spend money, not spending money if we don't have to. So I'll show you guys something. It will take, we can talk about it for like a half hour, 45 minutes. If I can keep it to under an hour, usually it doesn't cost anything. It costs like a penny or 2 pennies, something like that, like 3 pennies, 3 cents, something like that. But once you leave it on, like 24 hours a week or a month, it costs like it costs a lot more money. So that's one of the things I want to show. So that's one of the billing windows. I hope you guys could have heard me better on this one. Let's see, shouldn't be, let me move this out of the way. And then there's one other screen I want to show. All right, so that's, see if I can show it. Cost categories. Let me see if I can show you something else with cost. So just is bills. So I'm talking about bills. Like how do you pay for bills? So this might be, see if I can show you this one. See if this is a good one to show. No, it's not a good one to show. See if this is a good one to show you. But this might have been the last one I showed you. This is another way. This is another way of showing you the same information. Just we're not spending money right now. That's really it. And let me see. There's one other thing I want to show. You got so many different ways of showing this. Let's see if I can show you the budget without showing payment information. All right. So I'll show this real quick. So in AWS, what I did is I set a budget for monthly student budget, $100. It could be, if it needs more, then it needs more. But for now, I set it in the system in AWS so that we never spend more than $100 on a month, which is good for what we're trying to do right now. So you should be able to do a lot, even just read, like in reading doesn't cost you anything. So this is why I want you guys to log in, especially Mikinson and Rigo, to log in and just access the system to read, because reading doesn't cost you anything. So what I wanted to talk about was cost, because everything we do costs money. It's real money. So we're doing a real thing. It's not to play around. It's like time is money, money is time. So I set a budget of $100. No matter what happens, I can kind of sleep, because no matter what anybody does, it's never going to go over $100. It will just stop working, which is what you want. Especially when you have students, you have people who are new. Otherwise, somebody will make it cost, you'll have like a bill for $10,000 like that. I've seen that. It's crazy. So this is not a cheap, this is not a cheap system. All right, so I hope that video recorded on that one and that the audio was a lot better so that you guys could hear. The other thing I wanted to show is stuff's working the way I expected. So let me try this one. And then at the end, so a couple of things. I set a budget, and that's to protect our resources. The other thing that I do is I delete, if you don't need, and listen to the video when I talk about this, if you don't need a credential, if you don't need a username and password in a system, delete it. Otherwise, somebody could use it and then use the resources in ways that are harmful to you. All right, if you guys excuse me for 5 seconds, let me see if person who I owe is asking for money yet. I'll go off camera just long enough to, all right, nobody's asking for money yet. Everything costs money.
There is a question in the chat.
So go ahead.
Yeah, there is a question in the chat.
All right, let's see what the question. Making son, see that's what I was saying in the video, making son. Like you and Rigo, I want you to use the information I gave you before because I told you the username and password for both of you. So I want to see if you guys remember it.
Yeah, can we still use the one that we had?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. So the one you used before, use that. It doesn't cost you anything to use it. So it's good practice. Like you should use it every day, even just to see what's available. You should use. It's a big system. So yeah, it's the same one that I gave you. I think Sabine still has access. I don't know if she's still in the program, but you and Miguelson, you and Rigo have access to that. Like you can at least see everything I'm doing. Most of what I'm doing, like you can see it. So yeah, so most of it you can see. Like for let me show you. Let me show you something.
If you just log into Amazon Web Service,
Yeah,
you can access to all that you're doing here.
yeah. Let me show you. So here, I want you guys to try. I want you to go through your nodes and try it. So for example, here, right? So I went here. So here you guys are. Right now, last time you guys logged in was last year, right? So in Sabine, I should probably do this one. You know, so if I can see when you guys log in, right? Yeah, see, I can see you. I can see you. So
Okay.
so when you log in, I'll see that you logged in. You know, so you guys are there. Okay, so yeah, you can log in. So let me do this other thing. Again, watch the video. Very important. Let me do this now. See it this way.
Okay, so we can just still use this account.
Yeah, you can. You can.
So what about the other student? When will they have access to?
Yeah, so send me because I only want to create accounts for people who are here regularly. So send me the names. Send me the names. Miguelson or Rigo, send me the names, and I'll create it just like I did for the other ones. But they have to be like you know the students better than I do. Like people who are going to be here regularly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
Just people are gonna be regular.
yeah, just you know, so that because we just want to be smart about it. So you know the students, you know the people, you're there. You know, you're the eyes and the ears and the brain. Let me know who should have it, and I'll create an account for them. Okay.
Okay.
And then
Those two guys out here today, they are willing to have the course.
yeah, and then you can.
They can.
What was I going to say? You can you can send it to me via WhatsApp, and yeah, just send me the names. I'll create it for you.
Okay. You see them?
Hold up, let me see.
See us? Can you see us?
Oh, well, let me switch. 1 second. Switch computers, screens. Hold up, I have a lot of screens. Yeah, I can see you guys. I can see you.
You see?
I can see you. I can see you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, good. Good. So thank God for you. All right, I'm going to try something. And like I said, you're gonna see problems that I have. I'm gonna see me try and fix it because I'm trying to remember stuff. So, and watch the video, and you'll see what I'm doing. Because everything is just all this stuff is just experience. Everything.
Yeah, I can see like you are using EC2.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and you'll see that in the video. Like I said, everything is just experience. So just get, you know, you can log in. Like I said, you can log in. And Miguelson, you know, on your, do you still have your PC? Do you still have your what was it? Did you have a Hewlett Packard? You had a desktop. You had a desktop.
I just have a laptop.
Okay, but you had a laptop. Is it the same? Is it the same one you had last year?
I have two right now. Not the same one. I'm not using the same one right now. I'm using a different one, but the one I had is there.
Okay, so
It's in my house.
okay, because I remember we did a video and you were able to access something called Python. Do you
Yeah,
remember that?
Python and CloudSheet, yes.
Okay, all right, good. So because I remember that one was, I'm gonna put this on the screen to help you remember a little bit more. Let's see. I think it was here. So it was in the apps. So it was this. It was this. You had to, because I remember we did this on your computer. So can you do that on your new laptop? Can you go in and install Python?
It's just because we have low internet service.
Okay, but okay, that's fine. But can you try?
Let me try.
All right, so you can try it, and I'm going to keep going. But yeah, just try it and see if you remember how to access it. So I'm looking for, I think this is the latest one, 3.11. This is the latest one. So we can get that on your computer. That would be actually really good, and then you can show that to your to the other students. So
Do I have to download it
yeah.
or just open the page?
So do you remember? Okay, so let me do this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you and then you can try it from the video. Okay, I'm going to show it. So on my computer, right? I think you have a similar type of computer that I do. So this is what happens. In search, I know what. Why is this? It's too much here. So in search, I type store. All right, so that's step one. I type store, or to make it more detailed, you can type Microsoft Store, right? Microsoft Store. You click on it. So that's one, right? You click on it, it's going to take some time to load up. And then you say under apps, so that's two, I want Python. And it should have just done it here, but click here. So actually Python and then click apps. You don't care about the other stuff, games, movies, TV shows. You want apps. So now you want to step 3, click get.
You get. Yeah. Okay. It's
And
no
see, like
problem.
it's
I
downloading.
can.
It's downloading on the machine right now. So hold up. And I guess I understand you said sometimes the connection is not the best. I understand. So, but that's
I think I can do this.
Hmm?
I can do it.
Yeah. So
Yes,
just
I can do it.
and I'll put that in the video. All right, it's coming on my machine. It's still on my machine too, but it's doing it. It's gonna get there.
Okay.
So it's I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. So it's 8%, 11%. Okay, well that's not too bad. It's getting faster. I guess it just took. All right, it's almost there.
Okay.
All right, so now it's downloading. All right, so now, so try this on your computer. You can do it today, or you can do it later on. Now, in the Python, there's the one I want.
What can we do there? For example, something that can.
Well, you need it to do almost everything. So so Python is a foundation for some of the other things I showed, right? So try something very simple. For example, go here. That's installed. So I'll show them to show it to you real fast. Where did it draw?
EIP2.
I have to find where the heck it dropped it. All right. So in Python, you can type basic commands. I'm just gonna this is all I want you to try and do. This is the only thing I want you to try and do. So once you're done, do three things. You can follow in the video. You want to type CMD. That's one. Just type CMD. Hit return. That's going to create this window here. Then type Python. That's two. And then type this.
Print.
Right.
Hello.
That's it. So watch the video. Watch the video and just do that. And then that'll be a good step to show that everything's connected on your computer the right way. But just those three things, like watching the video, try that out. Let me know. Like send me a WhatsApp and we can have a conversation. But let me know. So I'm going to show one more thing. It's 11:34 right now. I'm going to show one more thing that I can record. Because what I'm going to try and do is just upload the video before 12 o'clock or before 1 o'clock. All right. So where was it? This is some other thing to do. All right. So I got to do more graphs.
Okay. Lagi payment no kay. Bakit bagay? Lalo sa common.
All right. So this is the other thing I want to show. So, like I said, just watch what I'm doing. It's S1. I'm going to run this other command. I mistyped it. That's okay. And this is the other thing I want to remember. Keep mistyping that. All right. So, all right.
Stephanie, when you say print hello, when you comment Python say hello, and then you say print hello, what's it gonna do?
It's just a basic way to test that Python's work on your machine.
Actually, you gonna print it?
Hmm?
You gonna print hello?
Does it work on your machine?
No, not yet.
Okay, so no, but try it. Try it, and well, I showed this one. What's my- So, all right, so this is running. See what happens. That should be, oh. All right, let's see. Hmm. So I'm getting an error message. I'm getting a problem, but let's see if I can fix it. Get rid of this one. It's complaining. Fix it later. So this was an error. Like I said before, if you see something in red, usually there's a problem, a serious problem. This one is missing a name, but I'm not going to worry about that. If it's see if we can get this to work. That's what the. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys, Rachel?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. So as long as you can still hear me. All right, so let me do this. I'm gonna have to go back and clean this up later on. But that's okay. Part of the process. So yeah, this is. I'm missing some information or something's changed since the last time I did something like this. So part of doing these type of things, sometimes things don't work exactly the way you expect them to. Even if you did something on Monday, everything works fine, and something changed on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna really fix some problems today. Actually, let me do this. We actually let's do it. So let me see if there's a place to read this. I do. These, and I'm showing different types of databases. We've talked about databases before. Let me try this one. Okay, that's what the problem was. All right, cool. So all right. Should have read this a little bit more carefully. Yeah, I'm just gonna show one more thing. You guys remember I talked about data. So I'm gonna show what happened.
What it was App Store? Or
Yeah, so it was under. I'll show on the screen. So if you type Microsoft Store,
Microsoft?
yeah, and then you want to go Python, and then it's gonna show all kinds of crazy things. And then, yeah, you want to click on apps. Oh, man. Which one of these actually? So, I delete some of this other stuff too. This stuff takes up a lot of space. See which one of these is going to run. So something's off here, but I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm going to try one more thing, and then I'll just not do it. Try enhancement. One more thing, if it works. If not, I have to go through my notes and see what's changed in the middle. Probably take some time to ask and answer some questions. Right. Try one more thing. If this doesn't work, I'll try and figure it out and create another video and see what happens. So yeah, this might be an older one. So let me try this instead. All right, so the thing I was going to try is not working. It's not working. So I'm going to create another video of that. But what I wanted to show, I can still talk about this, is we talked about this briefly 2 weeks ago. But RDS, so relational database systems, relational database service. And for this one, a database is where I talked about before, where a database is where you can store information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another video talking about this one in a little bit more detail. Yeah, since what I was trying before is not working. That's okay. We've got to figure it out. So let me say this. So it's 11:46. Are there any, hopefully the audio is better and that the internet connection is better. Are there any questions? What?
About DS.
What happened? I didn't, or do you want to type in the chat?
Okay. Then attack.
What? I couldn't hear you. Like the audio.
Gonna type the question.
Yeah, it's like the audio, at least for me, it's kind of, I couldn't, if you said something completely, I couldn't hear you. So do you want to type it in the chat?
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Let's see what the chat says, please. If you have any questions. All right, thank you, Rachel. The other part of it. Oh, let me do this. Let me delete. Get rid of the other. About to do, while this message is coming up, I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. Is let me show this real quick. So where is, but at the end of every session, see if I can show this.
One thing. Okay, okay, the question is in the chat.
Okay. All right, thanks. I have to delete a, oh, okay. So this is what I wanted. So, all right. So I have a security issue. So let me see if I can just show this real quick. Look at the chat. So this is going to go a little bit quickly. So I have a security key here. I actually have to delete it because I used it 9 minutes ago. If I keep using it, it could be a security risk. So I'm going to delete it. So that's what something you want to do. Do this. Oh, all right. So I want to delete it. Yeah, make sure you deactivate it first, and then so I want to delete it. All right. So now that's deleted. Goodbye. Question in the chat is, the chat says, all right, Megan, so you should, I want you to research that one. I talked about that one before. So I want you to look up what are RDS. So I want you to do two things, Mr. Mickelson. I want you to look up what RDS means, and I want you to please explain it to
This question is belong to Leonie.
What happened?
That was Leonie's question.
No, so yeah, that's part. So you should explain it to him.
Okay.
I want
say Amazon RDS.
So yes, I want you to explain it, to the best as you can, since he's asking the group, and you've already seen this before. I want you to explain it to him. I want you to explain it to him.
Okay, no problem.
If there are any,
yeah,
because I'm going to do another video about this. I want to get this thing to work. I'm going to create another video, in addition to this one, just going over RDS. But yeah, if you guys have seen it before, Mickelson Rigo, and they ask a question, I want you guys to try it first. All right, it's really
we're gonna do.
Yeah, please.
Well,
I want you guys to try it first. If you have any questions for me, I'll answer the question, but it's really important for them to know that you guys know it too, since you've seen it before. So I have no problem otherwise. But any questions about stuff, if it's something more complicated, like if it was like query editor, and you're like, okay, what's that? Okay, that's fair. Or zero ETL integrations, that's fine. If you've never seen it before. All right, so that's what I have for today. Were there any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
You were talking about EIP.
Yes.
I would like to know where exactly can we use it?
Sure. So,
or why is it important to use EIP?
Sure. So probably let me go to, where should I go to? If I go to, all right, let me pick, I'm going to pick, let me check something real quick. All right. All right, cool. So Facebook. All right. So an IP address is the only way. It's an address. The EIP is an address. All right, it's an address.
Mhm.
So it's like an address for your house or for your work or for school. You have to know how to get there. So if you go to
Okay.
if you go, for example, to Facebook, right? You go to Facebook,
Mhm.
it's www.facebook.com, right? There's a number behind that. So there's always a number. So anytime you go to a website, any website you go to, TikTok, Instagram, what else is I gotta learn what you guys are doing. I'm gonna ask that question later on. There has to be an address to it. And that's what the EIP is. It's an address. Just like you think about a physical address tells you how to get to your house. A EIP tells you how to get to a place on the internet. So if I wanted to find out
Okay.
which IP address Facebook has, I can type this in. So this is, I want you to watch this and when you watch the video, I want you to watch the video and watch what I do. So if I want to look up somebody's address, I can do a bunch of things, but the easiest way, the way I do it is I say ping and then what I'm looking for, right? And it gives me a number. So, right. So it goes from here, and then it gives me this number here. So let me try another one. Let me try something different. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So if I say pingtiktok.com. Now I want to know about TikTok because I know a lot of people use TikTok. That's what young people do. So that's the address. That's the address for TikTok. This right here.
Okay.
This is
Thank you.
Yeah, this is the address for Facebook. It's a number. It's just like an address. So if you say 663 Main Street, everybody's gonna know exactly how to get there.
Yeah.
On this,
Where do you do this?
so you can do it in there are a bunch of places. So the way I did it, I'll show you this. Hopefully, I don't have to log in again. All right. So where I did it was under where, if you want to know specifically where you see it, so under what is it? Under VPC,
VPC.
there's Elastic IP. And I don't
Okay.
have any right now. So see right here, there are none. I didn't create any because that's going to cost money. These aren't cheap. So
Okay, so if you want to get the address, people's address, for example, where they are connecting to the internet, right? You're gonna have some control over them
right,
to know where they are like exactly connected. So you have to create an Amazon just a way to get them, right?
exactly. So yeah, so you have to have a way, like you always need a number. Otherwise, because like they're like probably like a billion different machines out right now. Probably like close to a billion. If not hundreds of millions.
You cannot you cannot do it for free, or if you
No,
don't have a like if the Amazon don't give you access, you cannot get them.
exactly. So you need, otherwise otherwise you can't get on the public internet. You can't do it. So you need an IP address to get on the public internet. You need one. That's been the way it's been for like, I think almost, oh man, if not, yeah, close to 50 years. For almost 50 years. So
Okay.
all right, so I have to head out soon. So I want you again, Ms. Mickelson, Rigo, for us to everybody kind of be on time. I'd rather, if you start early, I'll be online early as well, because I understand Haiti works differently. I'll leave it at that. Haiti's working differently.
Yeah.
This is life right now. I can't do anything about that. But I'll try and work with you to be there early. I'm gonna post a video today. I hope everything shows up the right way on this video. I'm going to stop the video right now so it can start